Yep, I was right. Turns out it wasn't just my imagination all these years. Florida is in fact getting hotter. But apparently, according to this study, not during the daytime, it's getting hotter at nighttime. Let me explain. By the way, guys, it feels so good to be back here in my little corner of my bedroom, my little home office shooting these videos. It's a small little corner, but it's my corner, and I'm happy to be back home shooting videos for you again. Since it's been a little while since I've been back in my little home studio here, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and reminder of some of the services that I offer here on the channel. So for a long time, I have offered personal one-on-one consulting calls that I've done with quite a few of you now, and just know that I do still offer this service, and you can always find the direct link for that down in the description of my videos. And if you are moving to Florida, then make sure to go ahead and give us a call, which is a different service, and my real estate team will be happy to help you find your new home here in Florida, and that link can always be found in the description below as well. Now, according to this article I just read, there is a meteorologist here in Florida who's been keeping track of the temperatures here since 2015, and he has noted that there have been now 807 record highs from the year 2015 to the year 2020, specifically for overnight low temperatures. So the idea here is that Florida is actually getting hotter during the nighttime instead of during the daytime, which for me, as somebody that lives here, I definitely can attest to that, because when I go for my walks here at nighttime, especially in the summer, it's not uncommon for the temperatures to still be like 87 degrees at nighttime, plus the humidity, so it can feel well into the 90s even at nighttime here in the summer, every night basically, and that's just normal. But I remember when I first moved here, it kind of really wasn't like that. It always felt a little bit cooler at nighttime, but let's get into a little more details here and see what this article has to say. So it also says here, at the weather station in Daytona Beach International Airport, the average summertime overnight low has risen 2 degrees Fahrenheit since the 1960s. And 2 degrees, guys, in 60 or so years, that's a lot. You know, that's a pretty significant change. You know, a lot of, climatologists and people like that will tell you that is a very significant change. So what's contributing to this? According to the science, they say it's a combination of several things that's causing this. So the first thing is the boundary layer of the atmosphere, which is the closest to the earth, grows more stable. And with more and more homes being built, the land absorbs more heat during the day, but when it's released at night, the atmosphere is less prone to mixing. The other thing it says is the atmosphere is becoming more humid, especially over Florida, which is no surprise here. And when you have a humid atmosphere, it's less efficient at radiating heat or releasing the heat. And warmer coastal waters lead to warmer overnight temperatures, and the Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic Ocean have seen their surface temperatures rise. And it also says that the whole global climate is warming up as well, up 1 degree Celsius since the mid-1800s, which obviously was a long time ago. So we're talking 1 degree Celsius, in about 200 years. Everything's getting hotter, basically. But it's not my imagination, because I've always kind of thought this, and I've mentioned this in some of my previous videos, because now that I've been here almost 14 years, in January 2022, it'll be my 14th year anniversary here in Florida. I even noticed a difference in it feeling hotter here, especially since I'm all the way down at the bottom here in Miami Beach. I'm in South Florida. It gets very hot down here compared to the northern part of Florida. Sure, they get hot in the summertime, but if you look at temperatures right now, we're like in the mid to upper 70s today, and a lot of the northern parts of Florida are in the 60s right now. So let's go over a couple of what they call the consequences of this, to see if it's anything really significant or anything really to worry about. According to this study, it says that people that have respiratory and cardiovascular disease or diabetes might negatively be affected by these hot nights. I'm not really sure how that works. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but that's what they're saying here. Also, it says that obviously if you don't have air conditioning, you could be in trouble, and if you live in a poor neighborhood or you can't afford air conditioning, then this can be a big problem, which is like kind of a duh factor, a duh moment here. But it's in the article, so I'm mentioning it. The article says also that we could see a spread of invasive species further into the northern part of Florida. Like down here in the Everglades, we have problems right now with iguanas and pythons. And with the warmer temperatures and it not getting as cold at nighttime in the northern parts of Florida, they're saying that these animals could spread more into the northern parts of Florida and it becomes more normal for them to live there. But it's not all bad. According to this article, there actually are some benefits to us getting warmer nighttime temperatures, such as we have less frost damage for our winter crops like oranges and things like that that are very susceptible to frost damage. So that's actually a good thing. But it does increase the stress on crops because when it's really hot during the daytime and the nighttime, they're kind of losing that type of cycle that they would normally get in nature. But then it also goes on to say that now, because of the warmer temperatures, we're able to grow more tropical type of things here. And the type of crops they think that we can now grow here because of the increasing temperatures are things like pomegranates, olives, macadamias, coffee, and finger limes. Yeah, there are the pros and cons, right? I mean, it gets warmer, people don't like it, and some plants don't like it, but on the flip side, then there could be some benefits too. And obviously, you guys know I'm always the kind of person that likes to try to see the bright side of things. So at least if we're going to try to take advantage of this situation and spin it into some kind of positive, I think that's much better than dwelling on the negative effects of it. And the article does conclude with basically what we can do is to kind of curb development and try to slow that down here in Florida, because the more natural lands we have, then the easier it's going to be to mitigate this rising temperature. But ultimately, this is a worldwide problem is what it's saying here. And, you know, the whole world's going to be affected by climate change here. This is just how it's affecting us, particularly down here in Florida. I'll have this article linked down in the description so you guys can read the whole thing at your leisure. But I wanted to bring this up mainly because it's just something that I personally noticed over the years, and it was a really interesting story for me to see come up here. Like, wow, it really is getting hotter here. I personally think it's also hotter during the daytime too, but according to this, they're only tracking higher nighttime temperatures. But I would think if it's hotter at nighttime, then it will affect how hot it feels the next day as well, especially with the higher humidity levels. Because if you've ever been down here, especially to South Florida in the summer, you know the humidity levels are extremely high. It can make the temperatures feel a good 10 to 15 degrees higher than they really are. If you guys enjoyed this video, then go ahead and check out my Florida playlist right over here, and I will catch you guys over there in that next video.